Welcome once again to the Ed Cooley Radio Show, presented by East Commerce Solutions. And tonight we're at McPhail's on the Providence College campus. And we're glad that you're with us. It seems like it's been forever, Coach.
I know.
Welcome back to your own show.
It feels good to be back here. More importantly, it feels good to be right at home on our campus.
Right. Kind of convenient when you can come downstairs from your office. What were you working on before you came down here? Can you divulge?
Sure. I was watching some film of our practice. I was watching some film of Seton Hall, and then cleaning up some of the stuff we need to finish with Villanova. So kind of multitasking, but it was good. A couple of our coaches are out on the road. Our players coming back from class have a chance to have dinner today with Nate. Like having dinner one-on-one with some of our guys and spending some time with them. It's a long season, but it goes fast. And for some of your freshmen, you just got to keep them on board with staying focused and staying mentally tough.
That's actually part of what I wanted to get into a little bit tonight, because the season does go by quick as a blink. And because of that, you want to make sure that you don't lose the opportunity to continue to instruct and to continue to nurture, because you do have two, freshmen, that have played this season that probably require a little bit of extra that, because you lose a lot of that extra teaching and coaching time in the season, because as you said, you got to play game after game after game, and we know that's what the guys want to do. That's what the fans want to see. It's what we want to talk about, but there also has to be some instruction there along the way, and sometimes you can't do that when things go by so fast.
It happens. So, you try to build it into every day, give them something that, they can learn from, that they can grow from, and ultimately be able to execute it in a game situation. But, there's a lot of breakdowns that happen in the game, and if you can avoid those breakdowns, you're going to give yourself the best opportunity to win that particular game.
Mm-hmm. So let's then go back, because this team now is 5-3 as we approach with the next game, the halfway point, if you can believe it, in the Big East Conference season. Coming off of a loss on the road earlier this week on Tuesday night at number 1 ranked Villanova. I think we all learned, if you didn't know before, how good Villanova really is. And I think that there's no doubt in my mind. I've seen them on TV probably half a dozen times, and now after seeing them up close and personal for the first time, there's no doubt in my mind that's the best college team I've seen this year. And there's some good ones out there. But Villanova has got weapons, and they've got legitimately 6-7 guys that can put the ball in the basket, and they've got size now, and they can get out and do a lot of things and make you very miserable.
They do, and the good thing is they got to come back through the dunk. They have to come back through here. And, it's a lot of teams play great at home, and they've shown that they can play on the road as well. And they do have a ton of weapons. But at the same time, they're experienced. They're really experienced, and they expose all your weaknesses. Like I was telling you before we came down here up in the video room upstairs, there were 17 mistakes that we made in the game. They scored on 13 of them.
Wow.
So, whenever
you put a lot of pressure on your defense when that happens.
Absolutely. And, I thought both halves we came out with great energy, really focused. But, you have to be mentally tough when you're grinding like that, and you do make those mistakes. You can't compound them. And then of those 13, there were 3 occasions where it was back-to-back turnovers where they had 19 points off a turnover. So game, set, match.
You had a 9-point lead with 7:44 to go in the first half. You guys came out of the gate, and it was kind of like, well, we're not going to let Villanova kick us around. We're just as good as these guys. You guys played with a little of that swag, and I think that's what you wanted. And then, of course, as we know, and you and I have talked about not only on this show but in your pregame before the games, every once in a while that offense will take a little siesta when you don't want it to. And
right.
I know that it has to lead towards some of the consistency that you're trying to seek. But, man, there for a while you were right there with those guys. And then to start the second half, you crawl right back within 3 after being down 9 at halftime. That's got to give you some reason for optimism right now.
So, when you break that down, we miss 3 uncontested layups at the rim. We miss 2 front ends of a 1-and-1. We missed 2 free throws consecutively. And then we gave up 3 and 1s in the first half.
Right.
I mean, you're right there. Then we get right back into the game, down 3. We miss an uncontested layup, back-to-back uncontested layups. Then we go down, and there's a 4-point play. So instead of being down 1, you're now down 7 or down 8 it was.
Right. That's a heck of a swing.
It's an unbelievable swing of emotion. And now you know you're on the road. It's really tough on the road. We play in an unbelievable league. So now you're trying to bounce back. And you can't always play from behind all the time because it just is so much energy, is so much that goes into it. And not only that, it's not like you're playing a opponent that doesn't have weapons. Every position Villanova has and has had, it's a weapon. So whoever has the ball, it's not like you can scheme or gap this person and allow this person some freedom. And they, they're a really talented group.
They are. But you know what we love about this league, right?
You get a chance to play them again.
Dang straight, right there. That's it. And not only that, not only do you have a good chance to bring them to home, but you have other teams in this league that are, pretty doggone good. You've already beaten one in Xavier. You've beaten another in Creighton as well. So, and you're done with Creighton. You'll have another shot at Xavier on their home floor next month as well. But there's an opportunity every night. And so I'm sure this is part of what you talk to your players about. But, hey, let's take advantage of the moment. Let's live in the moment. Let's live for now and see if we can't turn this thing around and make it happen right now.
Let me bring you guys into the locker room today, what we talked to our babies about today. And we talked last year, I believe there were 19 or 18 teams that went to 4 consecutive tournaments. We were fortunate to be one of them.
That's right. You're one of 19 nationally.
One of 19.
Yeah.
When you look at those same 19 schools, 13 of us have an opportunity to make it 5. I think the other 4 are really struggling right now, and they have to win their league. I think Wisconsin is one. I think VCU is one.
Right.
Dayton is one. Iowa State is another one, and Baylor, I believe, are the other 5. I think.
That sounds right.
Right?
Yep.
And, it's not that they can't, because anything's possible in league play. As you saw last year, I think we were 4-8. I think we were 4-8 and ended up getting lucky enough to get to the tournament. You just got to hang on, and the season's long. It really is. It goes fast, but it's long, and anything's possible. Anything's possible. You just got to continue to coach your players, empower them to be better than they are. Don't complain about anything. It's easy to complain when you lose. It's easy to feel unbelievable when you win. It's when you're going through a rough patch, what is your culture? How positive are you with your players and motivating them to be better than they think they are, and ultimately get into a game and executing a game plan? That's what I talk with our players about today.
All right. Well, that's great insight. I would tell you then that you probably aren't yet satisfied. I mean, this team is 5-3 in league play.
I'm never satisfied.
Well, that's what I was. But that's where I was driving. I mean, I know you're not satisfied with that. So, how do you take it from where you are now to the next level? Because that's the $64,000 question, right?
Well, the $2 question is we have Seton Hall, and that's all you care about.
Well, then that's why I'm asking the question.
You have to take one game at a time. We're going on the road once again. Seton Hall, I think they play at DePaul.
Yes.
Before we go down there next week.
Yeah.
So they'll be dialed in. We're going to fight each other. I think the league will be up for 6 or 7 bids. We want to be in that conversation. In order to do that,
that's the goal.
In order to do that, you got to post 10, 11, 12 Big East wins. That's just the nature of our league. If you're able to do that, then you're going to position yourself to be a postseason team, and that's what we're talking about right now.
Do you feel like this team is back closer to playing where you envisioned they might be able to play before this season started?
I think it's a fair question. I think we're trying to get there. I think what really set us back is when we got ill, not so much just the injuries, but that whole flu went through the entire team, and now it's making its way through the coaches. We've had some coaches very ill. Not me. I got 7 flu shots. But it's starting to make its way through the coaching staff. But our players, man, did it beat our players up. It was rough looking at them. Those poor kids on the plane. They're curled over. They're cold. You kind of feel helpless because there's nothing you can do. It has to take its course. So we're getting healthy now, and we got to finish this road swing, and then I can't tell you how happy we'll be to get back to the Dunkin' Donuts Center, because it's been unbelievable playing in there, especially this year. Our fans that are listening, our fans that are here, I appreciate you guys when you come out and you're passionate and you're loud. And it's what an environment in there. And, Steve Naplow and his crew, Bob Driscoll, what they've done to create not just a game, but an environment. It's the thing to do. I love when our cheerleaders are out there, our dance team, our band, getting the crowd into the game.
Can I say this?
What's that?
PC Band is good.
Yeah, in all honesty, I don't hear them.
I know you don't, because you're busy. You're trying to work, but we hear them. They're good. They're good. They do a great job.
I like the band. One of my things I've always wanted to do was play an instrument. I'm serious.
I did.
Like
I did.
When I'm in the house, I like listen to the piano. It's just so soothing. Or like the clarinet, the saxophone.
I didn't play a clarinet. I didn't play a saxophone. I was brass, baby.
Is that right?
Brass.
I'm not mad at you.
Right,
I bet you suck, though.
I'm just talking about, man. I was all city. I was all city in Fort Worth. Yes.
You were all serious?
I was all city.
My man.
Come on, man.
Were you the only one?
Was I what?
Was you the only one?
I was an all city class of one. Yeah. I figured you'd come up with something like that.
No, I tell you, I
was a drum major in high school.
Really?
Yes.
See, I buy like my friends' kids. I always buy them instruments, for Christmas, just so they can drive their parents nuts. Drums, bongos,
that's a good one.
Guitars,
yeah, absolutely.
Stuff that just makes noise.
Yeah.
Because that's what everybody did to me when my kids were younger. Mm-hmm. I hated that. Or something you got to put like a dollhouse. Like if you've ever tried to put the dollhouse together, Christmas Eve, 3:30 in the morning, where you and your bride have been out celebrating more or less, and you got to come home and put a dollhouse together. Oh, wow!
It isn't a Merry Christmas for too much longer, is it?
No,
I didn't think
not
so.
at all.
No,
I get yelled at a lot.
I've done the very same thing. I had to put together a playhouse.
So here's my deal. This is what I want for Christmas next year.
Okay.
I want a piano lesson.
A piano lesson?
Yeah.
That's all you want. You want a piano lesson.
That's all I want. Piano lesson.
I can give you one right now.
I want a good piano lesson.
Okay.
Can you really?
2 fingers. Teach you how to play chopsticks in about 10 minutes.
Chopsticks? What is that?
Does anybody know what I'm talking about here? Thank you.
Right?
All right. Yeah. Fine.
Exactly. I want to play the Friar fight song on that thing, man.
I can teach you how to play that too, probably.
You think you can?
Yeah, I think I could.
Is there a piano anywhere around? Never know.
You never know.
Never know.
All right, we were talking about how we got sidetracked on piano lessons, and I don't know how the heck that happened, but it happened. We were talking about these guys coming back from adversity and these guys having to get through the flu and some of the injuries, and we want to take a look back at that for a moment because I think some of the will exerted here in getting these guys back healthy and back onto the floor is important to do that. So we're going to jump on that coming up. This is the Ed Cooley Radio Show presented by East Commerce Solutions. Tonight we're live from McPhail's on the Providence College campus on 103.7 WEEI FM.
You never knew that. Like, I love the piano.
Yeah, I learned how to read music on a piano. I learned how to read music on the piano. Yes, I did.
From my family to yours.
We're giving you our price.
On all new Ford and Mazda models.
So you pay
what we pay.
and not a penny more.
So get to Flood Ford in East Greenwich, Flood Ford Lincoln in Narragansett, or Flood Mazda in Wakefield to cash in with You Pay What We Pay.
Big East basketball is back in Friartown. Be part of the action as the Friars take on some of the most exciting teams in the Big East Conference this season. Mini plans, family packs, and senior game tickets are on sale now. Don't wait. Reserve your seat today to experience the best of college basketball right here in your own backyard. For tickets, call 401-865-GO-PC or visit Friars.com. This is Friartown.
Eston & Richard Insurance has been serving clients in Rhode Island and Massachusetts for many years. We represent the finest insurance companies in the industry, providing insurance coverage for every possible business, including the automotive industry, apartments, nonprofits, restaurants, manufacturing contractors, and all retail and office operations. Eston & Richard is an independent insurance agency. We will choose the right company and design a program to fit your needs and budget. Call Eston & Richard at 401-766-4200. We will solve your insurance problems.
Life. It's not measured by the breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. Life is the unlimited possibilities all around us. It's the interesting people we meet, the epic places we see, the incredible memories we create. Life is always going on. All you have to do is choose to live it. Full of life. Mohegan Sun.
It's one thing to talk about results. It's another to deliver them for personal injury victims. Recently, the law offices of Ronald J. Resmini delivered their client the largest jury verdict ever in Bristol County, Massachusetts District Court. If you've been injured at work or in an accident, call the firm that not only wrote the book on personal injury law, but continues to deliver results for the people of Rhode Island and Massachusetts.
I'm Ronald J. Resmini. When it's time to stand up for clients' rights, that's where you will find us.
With Cox high-speed internet, you get access to super-fast in-home Wi-Fi to power all your devices and do the things you love online. And now, when you're traveling, you have free access to the nation's largest Wi-Fi network with over 500,000 hotspots, so you can stay connected in places such as New York City, Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., Phoenix, and many more. Learn how with the Cox Discover More video series at cox.com/learn.
Welcome back to the Ed Cooley Radio Show, presented by East Commerce Solutions. Again tonight from McPhail's on the Providence College campus. John Rook with the head coach of the Friars, Ed Cooley. Friars are 14-7 overall, 5-3 in league play, currently holding on to fourth spot in the Big East Conference. And Coach, we talked about this earlier this season because of the number of shows we had, because you were in right in the middle of a challenging non-conference schedule, at least at the time, and you were going through that non-conference schedule. Sometimes without guys that you didn't think were going to be available. You had problems with Kyron's ankle, and you had Malik White out for a while. You had Jalen Lindsey struggling a little bit for a while. You had a bunch of different injuries to several different guys out there. But I know you just mentioned that, quite frankly, these guys are now starting to get healthy again. So are you able to do the kind of things in practice that you kind of hope to do at this stage, where you feel like you can increase your chances to be playing where you want to play in March?
Yeah, I think that's a great, great evaluation of where we were and where we're at right now. We're able to do a little bit more and go a little bit longer in practice, not so much physical practice 5-on-5, but more mental preparation, skeleton 5-on-0 stuff, scouting report, extra shooting. But having the extra bodies allow us to rest some of our guys during practice too. Again, I can't go back. It's a long season that goes quick. They give you 31 games, and after that, you hope to be a postseason team.
Well, so now that you're getting these pieces to the puzzle back, so to speak, maybe you could kind of take us through what you have to do to get everybody up to speed as quickly as possible, because I think there's a natural assumption, and there's always a natural assumption when players get hurt, that when they're going to be back in the lineup, everything's fine. It takes them a little time to reacclimate, does it not? And how difficult a process has it been for you?
I talk to my son Isaiah all the time about, what the team goes through. And, when you're sick, we've had this flu, and I don't know if any of you have had it. It's been tough on everybody. So trying to get them reacclimated after a flu, let alone an injury, their wind, you got to get them to eat. You got to get them to sleep a little bit better. They're still whether congested, sore, clammy. So all that has to go through their system. Now when you're trying to reacclimate somebody from an injury, it's rhythm, it's timing, it's team synergy, trying to get their second win. So you're trying to get them some extra sprints during our pregame walkthrough or a post-practice shooting or something. It's difficult, but every school in the country has gone through this at some point in the year. Very rare do you get through a year where no one has gotten sick, where no one hasn't sprained an ankle, had a thumb, had a hand, a thigh contusion. We just hope to stay away from the season-ending injuries.
Has what you've gone through with these injuries, because there's a lot of expectation, I know, placed on this team, not only by the fans, by yourself as well. A lot of people thought this team had some opportunity to do something this year and do some damage. But has it caused you to change your attitude or change the way you go about preparing, or maybe in the way you coach these guys because of the adversity you've had to learn to overcome?
In all honesty, we thrive under adversity. My job is to be the best that we can make Providence College this year. Regardless of expectation or what this person thinks or that fan thinks, I love our fans. I love the fact that they show up every game, passionate, win or lose. We have the loyalist fans in the country. At the end of the day, there is going to be a stumbling block somewhere, and we have to stay the course. My expectations don't change. We still want to be Big East champions at the end of the day. We want to compete to be an NCAA team, and we want to go out there and represent Providence College in a first-class manner. That's what we prepare for every single year and every single game.
All right, so now that you've kind of, established that's what you want to try to do with the consistency, how difficult a task has it been when you keep getting thrown curveballs? I'm mixing sports metaphors here, but you probably understand the basic gist of the question.
I do.
Sometimes it's difficult to put blinders on when you're going here and you're going here, and you got to dodge, some of those strange pitches.
You stay consistent. If you stay consistent as the leader and as the coach, the expectation remains the same regardless of who's in there. Hey, can somebody jump, run, shoot better than the other one? Probably. Does someone have a little bit more experience? But this here also, when you go through what we're going through, and this happened a couple of years ago, and you put someone in a situation that may have been injured and then had to play in a reserve role, expanded their role, you're able to bring them back later in that season because they have game experience under a lot of pressure. They're able to execute a game plan to help you win a game or two when nobody expected them to do that. So as much as we may have been injured, hurt, you can't complain. In life, if you complain, you're going to get left behind. And nobody wants to be around somebody who complains or feels sorry for himself. If we got guys that are injured, we got guys that are hurt, next man up, do your job, live to it results.
Well, I want to get in also just a little bit about the current team and everything, because as you get into Big East play, I think most fans are probably realizing
it's really hard.
It's
really hard.
It's difficult, and you can't do all of the things that you'd love to do, because at some point in time, you have to figure out a way to develop, nurture, pat on the back, kick in the butt, play your best guys, play your weak guys so they can get experience. You got to figure out a way to put all this in a bag and shake it up and make it all come out the same way. That's hard, too.
You sound like you know what you're talking about. You've been doing this a long time.
You see this hair?
I know.
It's colored.
I know. It's rough.
Yeah.
Mine too. Beard, losing all my hair in every place. But he has talked about that, and you're spot on. When you're a coach and you're managing all these personalities, all these high school All-Americans, and you're trying to have a cohesive unit, you have to do a better job being a psychologist that empowers the group for one goal, because everybody wants to play. Everybody wants to contribute, and you can only have 5 on the floor at once, and for the most part, you try to play an 8-9-man rotation.
Right.
That's what you try to get to.
Right, sure.
So you got to do a good job of putting the pieces together, allowing people to grow, fail, develop, but at the end of the day, you as the staff, you as the fans, you want to see a winning product on the floor regardless of what player's out there. And all of us have opinions on, well, this player does this well, that player does that well. I'm saying embrace what we do out there, support those young men no matter who's on the floor, and let the chips fall where they may. That's just the truth.
So how do you feel about your rotation right now? You'd like it to be 9 or 10, but in reality, it probably can't be that, can it?
Some days yes, some days no. I feel good about our rotation. I feel good about the roles that our guys have identified and are trying to embrace. We still need more production from the rebounding side from the whole team. We still have to do a better job from the free throw line, which we work on daily. I think it cost us dearly the other day, especially in the first half. We left 6 points on the board and over a
front end's a 1-and-1 killed you.
Oh,
killed
you.
That really sucked the momentum right out of that Villanova game. It did.
The thing is, you can point them out after the game, and hopefully the young men learn and see in those runs, if the ball's not going in the basket and we're getting fouled, we still got to find a way to put points on the board.
Right.
Continue to put points on the board. So we showed them that today in our film session. The one thing you can't do is you can't beat the guys up for everything they do wrong. If that was the case, everything we do wrong, you're just not going to get the respect from your players if you're constantly negative.
Right.
You got to show some love. You got to be a dad. You got to support them when they're down. You can't just kick them. At the end of the day, we played an unbelievable team on the road, and they don't have many warts.
I don't have any that I saw.
Again, they're going to be days.
Although they lost Phil Booth to a broken hand. You knew that, right?
Yeah, I felt bad for him. I actually text Coach Wright, and, the kid sat out last year.
Knee injury last year, and now a broken hand.
You feel for kids like that. We've been there, done that with Chris, been there with Rodney. It's hard. Your heart breaks for him and his family.
Yeah. No kidding. Well, we're going to get back to the actual players and the games that are coming up, but we wanted to take a little bit to talk about something that Coach Cooley started to go with in the last portion of the program. Let's talk about the fans and the atmosphere at the Dunkin' Donuts Center, which we've had 3 slamming sellouts already. There are more on the way here in the last half of the Big East schedule, which certainly should fire everybody up, I think. And we're going to get a couple of members of the Friar Fanatics to join us up here so we can talk about the student aspect of it. Steve Napolillo will also join us to tell us what we got coming up, not only in terms of the giveaways, but the attitudes, the tickets left for sale, because this is Crunch Town. This is Crunch. It's Crunch Time. It's ready to go. Crunch Time in Friartown. That's where we want to go.
I like that. Crunch Time in Friartown. I like that.
It'll only cost you $100.
How about 200?
I'll take it.
I'll take it.
Okay, there you go.
Crunch Time in Friartown. I like that.
It is the Ed Cooley Radio Show presented by East Commerce Solutions. Again tonight, live from McPhail's on the Providence College campus and on 103.7 WEEI FM.
It doesn't matter if you use a napkin or the back of an envelope, whether you use an eyebrow pencil or a crayon, or even whether you can draw at all. The Baxter's Design Center creates truly custom jewelry just for you. Baxter's, cultivating relationships since 1960.
Big East basketball is back in Friartown. Be part of the action as the Friars take on some of the most exciting teams in the Big East Conference this season. Mini plans, family packs, and senior game tickets are on sale now. Don't wait. Reserve your seat today to experience the best of college basketball right here in your own backyard. For tickets, call 401-865-GO-PC or visit Friars.com. This is Friartown.
Start your year with a new car. Brand new or new to you, you'll find it at Belize. Like a new 2018 Volkswagen Jetta. Lease for $199 per month. Or lease a new 2018 Honda Accord. Also just $199 per month. Or a new 2018 Subaru Forester. Lease for just $229 per month with zero down. Looking for something else? You can shop over 4,000 vehicles at BelizeAuto.com. Then visit us on Quaker Lane, West Warwick. And leave in your new car.
Life, it's not measured by the breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. Life is the unlimited possibilities all around us. It's the interesting people we meet, the epic places we see, the incredible memories we create. Life is always going on. All you have to do is choose to live it. Full of life. Mohegan Sun.
With Cox high-speed internet, you get access to super-fast in-home Wi-Fi to power all your devices and do the things you love online. And now, when you're traveling, you have free access to the nation's largest Wi-Fi network with over 500,000 hotspots, so you can stay connected in places such as New York City, Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., Phoenix, and many more. Learn how with the Cox Discover More video series at cox.com/learn.
This February, experience the one event that unites the world. The 2018 Winter Olympics, 18 days and nights. Presented live across the networks of NBC Universal.
The Caleb Schifrin wins gold.
Don't miss your chance to advertise locally and be a part of the Winter Olympics.
Your business can go for the gold. Contact Cox Media today.
In the blink of an eye, cities fall, heroes rise. A heartbeat skips as a man slips gravity's grip, and heartbreak leaps from the brink in a blink. Just think of all the games, teams, hopes, and dreams that live and die because greatness lies in the blink of an eye. This is the sports app on Contour from Cox. Cable TV reimagined to get you right to the good stuff.
There could be a girl in the NFL, which that would be pretty amazing, but I mean, those guys are huge. huge. So, I mean, that girl has to be also huge. I'm pretty sure. Let's hope. I don't think anytime soon, but I'm pretty sure one of these days that a girl's gonna get in there.
Solutions again tonight, live from McPhail's on the Providence College campus. John Rook with Ed Cooley. You wanted a shout out.
Oh, yeah, Larry Levin, who's our dentist, does an unbelievable job. He's down in the Bahamas doing some service work. Want to say hi to you, Larry, down there. Thank you for doing what you do. You're a great person and an incredible.
How is Larry doing in the Bahamas? Leaving us back here like that.
No, he goes down there and does some service work. I know they have awful care down there.
It's still in the Bahamas, though, right?
Yeah, but in all honesty, I'd rather be here with you, man.
You lie.
I'm not Larry. I'd rather be here with him, not you.
He's lying.
I'm not lying. I'm not lying.
Who
wants to go to the Bahamas? Anybody?
Yeah, everybody's hand goes up, all right? So that's
Who don't want to go to the Bahamas and stay here with me? Okay. My girl in the back. I appreciate that. My girl back there.
We are joined up here on the stage here at McPhail's by Matt St. Jean and Remy Lagarde, two gentlemen who are part of the Friar Fanatics. And let me say this about the Friar students. Over the years, we've had some really great student groups in the dunk. There's no question about it.
None greater than the last couple of years.
Well, but I was just getting
Not
to
even
that.
close.
Exactly. You took the words right out of my mouth because this year, for the first time, all the student season tickets sold out. And so I know that these guys are working hard.
That deserves a round of applause,
yeah,
man.
Right?
That really does.
And so I know these guys and the Friar Fanatics do what they can to get the buzz going. So, Remy, let me start with you and give us a sense for what it's like to try to build that interest and how the interest has really increased. So what do you think? How difficult has it been?
I think it's been a lot of fun. I think as the years gone on, as the games get bigger, people tend to come to the games more often. I think that's awesome to see. I think, with having such a great personality like Ed Cooley as your coach just makes it a lot easier because he's always around campus, saying hi to students. It just makes it a lot more.
You can use the word chilling. That's all right. But you can use the word chilling. I like that.
Remy hit on a very important point here. The coach getting out, and if he gets out and he meets you, it makes you kind of want to go to the game and support him, does it not?
Exactly. It makes you feel like he cares about every student here, which I know he does. And makes you feel like you're part of the team as a sixth man.
Sure. Matt, let me ask you this one. How has it been hard with some of the kids to get them out and get them charged up about this at all? And if it has been, what do you do to make it less hard?
I mean, it's not really that hard when you got a team that's playing as well as our team has played at home.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's excited to see them play. So as long as they know when the game is, they're going to be there. And it's just a matter of reminding them, letting them know when it is, and keeping them focused on the next game, making sure they know how well we're doing. Because if we're doing well, they're going to be there, and they're going to want to see it.
We're going to see the return of some brand new big heads or something out there in the student section coming up soon.
Hopefully, I'm not really quite sure exactly what we have in store, but I'm sure it's going to be good.
Can we get a picture of Rook? Can we get a picture of my man? Seriously, how long you been here? 122 years?
Yeah, just about.
Huh?
Yeah, about.
All right.
About 30.
130?
No, leave the first digit off.
I don't know what I'd do without you, man. I love messing with you.
Yeah, I know he does. I have to live. Yeah. Can you imagine rooming with this guy?
Oh.
I had to do that once. I know. It's awful.
We both snored. I did.
Do we need to go any further?
No.
I didn't think so. So, guys, what are you looking forward to the most? I mean, we're at the halfway point of the Big East season, and Remy, you just kind of talked about it a moment. You got some bigger opponents that are getting ready to come in. So, do you guys find that it really matters who the opponent is coming in, or have we kind of progressed now to the stage where, hey, you know what? It's great that the opponent is here and they're national ranked and all, but we also kind of want to back the Friars. How do you make the differentiation, and how do you encourage people to still get out?
Yeah, I think it's definitely harder for the non-bigger games. I mean, I think Villanova is no question. Everybody's going to be there.
I got to interrupt you. Every game's a big game from the coaching standpoint. Whether you're playing your best friend or you're playing Oklahoma.
He kills me on this all the time.
Every game's a big game. There's not one game you take for granted because everybody's trying to win. Now you can go.
No, he's right. You're right. I think I'm speaking more towards the casual fan who only comes to maybe the dunk once a year.
But the idea here is to turn them into a Friar fanatic, right?
Yeah, and I think as they've been coming to more games, especially this year, we've been doing cup giveaways, and everybody at the marketing department's done a really good job working with the student group to allow us to do some really cool things to generate interest, so that for games we can be like, here's something that is new and different and brings some sort of excitement to the game, in addition to obviously the great team.
Sure. Matt, let me ask you this. Do you watch other college basketball games besides the Friars and try to get ideas for things to do in the stands?
Oh, I absolutely do. We have our Friar Fanatic group chat, and I feel like half the time it's just us posting links to here's what this team just did or here's what this team just did. How can we work that in? I know that there was one team that had some kind of like, I don't even know how to describe it. They just have people dressed in costumes behind the hoop during free throws, and we talked a lot about like working that kind of stuff in, or just trying to get as crazy and as loud as we can.
Can I make a suggestion? Because one of the funniest things that I ever saw, this is back when I was in the NBA years ago, Larry Bird was at the free throw line in San Antonio for the Spurs, who I worked for at the time. Guy snuck in behind the basket, and he unfolded a full-length bikini shot of Cheryl Teagues. Just went, all of a sudden, he's standing there, and all of a sudden went, boom. And it's the only time in my life I've ever seen Larry Bird step back, and he kind of turned around and went like that, and he looked over at the scoring table, and he started laughing. But it worked. Now, I know you see things like you see how sometimes students behind the basket, which you guys are at the dunk, they have their hands up, and maybe they'll shake them, then all of a sudden, right before he shoots, you swing them to the left or swing them to the right or do things like that just to get them to kind of get off their rhythm a little bit. Is that the kind of the stuff that sometimes you talk about?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's that, just being active, being loud, being moving. I know we've had our instances, too, where not during the game, but in warm-up, somebody's brought a sign, and you catch a player's attention, they look over and see that you have something funny, and they'll give you a laugh and keep going. But you know that you're in their head a little bit.
I have a suggestion.
Go.
And I love this. I don't know where I saw it, but you're connected. We played, I don't know where we were. It's probably 4 or 5 years ago. And everybody was connected. Mm-hmm. And everybody, the entire arena was moving like this.
Oh, God. I'm going to
be sick. I'm coaching, and I'm like, that's cool as hell. I'm like, I can see the dunk doing that. Imagine that, though. We're all connected because we're all one happy family. And happy maybe not all the time, but we're a connected family. Imagine seeing that in the dunk. The game's on the line, and you got the entire place swaying. It feels like the building is moving. I would love to see the Dunkin' Donuts Center like that.
One of the coolest things that I saw during the early part of the season, I was watching a college football game, was at the University of Iowa, where the fans at the start of the second half, they all turn and they wave to the kids in the hospital.
That's big time.
The entire, I mean, all 60,000 are waving. Something like that, either with the wave or the way or something like that. You want to get on TV, fellas? Is that your goal?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, you're on TV tonight. Say hello to Cox, right? But I mean, that would do it. That would do it.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Great idea.
What do you think?
I will definitely try to work that one in.
Okay, there you go.
Would you guys do that? Would you guys do
the swaying thing? Yeah.
Would you do the rock with us? Right.
Okay.
Right. We'll call it. You know what I mean? His rock. Right.
No, don't do me any favors.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive. It's all right.
Not Rook, but Rock.
Yeah. Well, you have a trainer named Rock.
Yeah, Johnny Rockets, I call him.
Yeah, and he's been busy this year.
Oh man, Father Shanley, he's earning his check this year, boy.
That's also true.
Whoa.
Guys, thanks for coming up. Matt St. Jean and Remy Lagarde.
They do a great job. Thank you.
Thanks, boys.
You guys
Appreciate
awesome.
that.
Thank
Appreciate that. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
All right, we'll take a timeout. Steve Napolillo will join us here, talk about what's upcoming at the Dunk. It's the Ed Cooley Radio Show presented by East Commerce Solutions, again tonight from McPhail's on 103.7 WEEI FM.
Great job.
Good job, man.
Thank you, guys.
Perfect. Thanks, buddy.
From my family to yours.
We're giving you our price.
On all new Ford and Mazda models.
So you pay what we pay and not a penny more.
So get to Flood Ford in East Greenwich, Flood Ford Lincoln in Narragansett, or Flood Mazda in Wakefield to cash in with You Pay What We Pay.
Big East basketball is back in Friartown. Be part of the action as the Friars take on some of the most exciting teams in the Big East Conference this season. Mini plans, family packs, and senior game tickets are on sale now. Don't wait. Reserve your seat today to experience the best of college basketball right here in your own backyard. For tickets, call 401-865-GO-PC or visit Friars.com. This is Friartown.
Eston and Richard Insurance has been serving clients in Rhode Island and Massachusetts for many years. We represent the finest insurance companies in the industry, providing insurance coverage for every possible business, including the automotive industry, apartments, nonprofits, restaurants, manufacturing contractors, and all retail and office operations. Eston and Richard is an independent insurance agency. We will choose the right company and design a program to fit your needs and budget. Call Eston and Richard at 401-766-4200. We will solve your insurance problems.
Life, it's not measured by the breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. Life is the unlimited possibilities all around us. It's the interesting people we meet, the epic places we see, the incredible memories we create. Life is always going on. All you have to do is choose to live it. Full of life. Mohegan Sun.
It's one thing to talk about results. It's another to deliver them for personal injury victims. Recently, the law offices of Ronald J. Resmini delivered their client the largest jury verdict ever in Bristol County, Massachusetts District Court. If you've been injured at work or in an accident, call the firm that not only wrote the book on personal injury law, but continues to deliver results for the people of Rhode Island and Massachusetts.
I'm Ronald J. Resmini. When it's time to stand up for clients' rights, that's where you will find us.
Now Contour from Cox gets you right to the strange stuff.
Something's coming. Something hungry for blood.
Noble stuff.
The crown must always win.
Show me something dramatic.
And orange stuff. Along with the best stuff on cable, because Netflix is now on Contour.
How awesome is this place?
Just say it.
Black Mirror.
And get right to the fierce, funny, bold, and bingey stuff. Watch it all on Contour. Just say Netflix to get started.
2 minutes left to go in the game. We're getting beat up. They're getting beat up. We're playing football, basically. We snap the ball. Our quarterback rolls out. I'm coming from the tailback position. I leak out. He somehow finds me. I'm in the middle of the end zone, wide open. He throws it up there. I put the pig in the midst. I've been to weddings. I've had best men at my weddings. It is a point of conversation. And the great thing about it is, because of Cox, I got the tape.
What a night we have in store.
This kid is on another level. Woo! The new middleweight champion of the world, Robert Whittaker.
The former UFC middleweight champion Luke Rockhold coming out to prove that he is still the best.
Oh, he's out! One of the greatest strikers in the history of the heavyweight division, Mark Hunt. This kid is a phenomenal talent and just a stud of an athlete.
UFC 221 is live Saturday, February 10th on Cox.
Beach area, it's really just beginning. Local stars light up the stage each night for your enjoyment, and trust us, you don't want to miss out. For all the fun-filled entertainment options you need, go to visitmyrtlebeach.com. Sounds like a heck of an idea, doesn't it?
Sounds really good. Actually, doing a clinic down there in Myrtle Beach in April for Nike, doing a Nike clinic in
Awesome.
Myrtle Beach. So I have a chance to go see one of our incoming freshmen, Jimmy Nichols. So
nice.
Looking forward to going down there, spending some time with him in April.
Sounds great.
Take me golfing?
Going golfing? Go golfing, right?
I'm going to, but you're not.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You want to come? You want to go?
If you're paying, I'm in, baby.
No problem. No problem. Father Shanley, did you hear that?
We welcome you back to the Ed Cooley Radio Show presented by East Commerce Solutions here at McPhail's on the Providence College campus. John Rook with Ed Cooley and Friars Senior Associate AD for External Relations, Steve Napolillo. You guys have done a good job of banging the place out so far this year at the Dunk. It's been rocking. I think most everybody's pretty much enjoyed the atmosphere. So good job by you.
Yeah, Rookie, it's we have a great team, but we have great fans. I think, we talk about it a lot, but the passion from our fan base in Rhode Island, Eddie talks about it all the time, is our fans are phenomenal. They've been packing the Dunk. They've been sporting, and ticket sales have been phenomenal. This will be the greatest ticket sale year in the history of Providence College.
It's outstanding.
Yeah, phenomenal. So,
and that's a credit to you, Steve, and your crew and your group. I see how hard you guys work, and I can't tell you from us, from the basketball team, we appreciate it because it means a lot when that building is filled and it has energy, has enthusiasm. As you see when we go on the road, when you see it's hard to win on the road when you have that level of excitement and energy in a building.
Well, I think, as you say, every Wednesday with Brian Catneller, our Director of Marketing, our whole ticket staff, our whole video, social medias. We have a lot to improve on, but I think we're really trying to make strides. And these young people, their passion, their energy, we look at it from, we have great seasoned fans, our fans who've been with us for many years. We have the younger people coming through. And then we have the next generation of Friars. Like Eddie, we see our guy Daryl out there with his two beautiful daughters.
Unbelievable.
We want them to be Friar fans, which Daryl made them in the womb, and they became out Friars, and they're at every game. So we're trying to make sure all these people love the Friars from when they're 1 to 100, John.
I think that's the way you got to do it. You got to bring them along and get them as early as you can and ingratiate them in the culture. So you've had the 3 sellouts thus far. I assume then that tickets are obviously available, but I know you've got some other sellouts potentially coming up, correct?
Yeah, we met as a team yesterday, and we're going to be really pushing up. Obviously, our next home game's against Georgetown, 8:30 start, but we want every game sold out. Villanova will be a sellout. Seton Hall will be packed. DePaul's alumni weekend will be sold out. St. John's. Our goal is to have every seat in the building like the last few games where you can't get a ticket, because there's nothing better than when we can tell people, unfortunately, you didn't arrive early or you didn't call early enough. We have tickets for the next game available.
That's the way to do it.
Unbelievable.
That's creating the culture. And I assume there's some perks in there for the fans that do get into the building, correct?
Well, we're really excited. You know, this year we've tried to do different things for our season ticket holders especially. We've had some hit and misses. But one of the things, we have bobblehead night coming up for Seton Hall, which, you know, if you're a season ticket holder, up to your first 4 tickets, you're going to be getting a bobblehead for every one of those tickets. And it's going to be a great night. Then the first 2,500 fans at that game will also receive a bobblehead. So we're looking to blow that out, that game. And as Eddie can tell you, is our student athletes, our players, there's nothing better, they tell me, when they walk in the dunk and just see it packed. It starts it off for them knowing it's game night, and it gives them that extra kick to get going.
Cool thing. That's a very cool thing. You know, I know you get around to a lot of games around, you know, you travel some with the team, you see other games, you see other environments. What have you learned, and what, you know, do you feel like you can bring home to make it work in Providence? Have you found things to do like that, and do you still find yourself going out and scouting to make it a different experience for the fans that you currently have?
Well, everywhere we go, John, we're trying to take different notes, and I think a key element, and I'm grateful for those students who just came up here, students create a whole different atmosphere in every building.
Yeah.
So I think as our student, and you can see it when the students are on break, you know, you have to sell those tickets, but their energy, they can take the dunk to a whole different level, which is really important. And our regular fans feed off those kids. So I'm grateful to those students. We still have to make sure we keep them engaged. I'd love to challenge them to stand on their feet the whole game, like to do crazies and get to that point. I also would love to do dollar bill night like they do in Creighton. I think that does wonderful things for everybody involved.
You want to do that?
That's where I want to be more of a fan than the coach.
Oh,
right? I want to be a fan at that game, you know, rather than calling the timeout and sweating. That must be you guys.
Wait. How about Hassett on dollar beer night getting after the refs?
That will be funny.
That would be must listen to radio.
You all have to. If those of you who know my son Isaiah he can impersonate Joe so well.
Does he really?
Unreal.
We got to get him on here to do that.
Yeah,
unreal.
Isaiah is a funny young man, and he can impersonate him.
He does you pretty good too, Coach. Don't sell him short.
Oh,
he does you really well.
I think Isaiah Cooley needs to be a guest soon. What do you think?
Yeah,
I'll sponsor that. Yeah. I'll sponsor
that.
Right.
That works.
That
yeah, we're trying to leave that one on the back burner though. That's family business, bro.
Beautiful.
Come on.
He's good.
Just threw me under the bus.
So, what are we looking forward to for the next home game?
Next home game is Georgetown, 8:30 game. You know, we're really going to use that night to honor Papa Lewis. I think anyone who's a Friar fan will remember that shot. As people call it the shot. I was lucky enough to go to Pop's funeral this past week while we were in Philly, and I think anyone who knew Pop, he was truly a gentleman and one of the sweetest former players I got a chance to meet. And one thing that Friar fans in this room can really take pride in is Eric Murdoch came to the funeral just to speak, to tell everyone that he came to Providence because he saw Pop's shot. And when he saw that go in and the atmosphere at the dunk, he knew he wanted to be a Friar. And all his former teammates, a bunch of them came and they spoke on his behalf. And it really said a lot for the Friar family, about the former players, how they're like this.
That's great.
And I really think it's what Coach Cooley preaches all the time. For us to be a premier national program, it's about making sure those former players know how much they mean to PC.
Outstanding. Knapp, thanks for coming by.
Thanks,
as
Knapp.
always.
Thanks, guys. Thanks
Steve
for what you guys do.
Labalillo. All right, we got a final time out to take, and Ed and I will wrap it up and talk about what's coming up next week. Seton Hall on the road. It's the Ed Cooley Radio Show presented by East Commerce Solutions at McPhail's on 103.7 WEI FM.
It doesn't matter if you use a napkin or the back of an envelope. Whether you use an eyebrow pencil or a crayon. Or even whether you can draw at all. The Baxter's Design Center creates truly custom jewelry just for you. Baxter's. Cultivating relationships since 1960.
Big East basketball is back in Friartown. Be part of the action as the Friars take on some of the most exciting teams in the Big East Conference this season. Mini plans, family packs, and single game tickets are on sale now. Don't wait. Reserve your seat today to experience the best of college basketball right here in your own backyard. For tickets, call 401-865-GO-PC or visit Friars.com. This is Friartown.
Start your year with a new car, brand new or new to you. You'll find it at Belize. Like a new 2018 Toyota Camry LE. Lease for just $89 a month. Or lease a new 2017 Nissan Rogue all-wheel drive. Just $139 a month. Or lease a new 2018 Chevy Silverado 1500 four-wheel drive. Only $249 a month. Looking for something else? You can shop over 4,000 vehicles at BelizeAuto.com. Then visit us on Post Road, Warwick. And leave in your new car.
Life, it's not measured by the breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. Life is the unlimited possibilities all around us. It's the interesting people we meet, the epic places we see, the incredible memories we create. Life is always going on. All you have to do is choose to live it. Full of life. Mohegan Sun.
This February, experience the one event that unites the world. The 2018 Winter Olympics, 18 days and nights. Presented live across the networks of NBC Universal.
The Caleb Shiprin wins gold.
Don't miss your chance to advertise locally and be a part of the Winter Olympics.
Your business can go for the gold. Contact Cox Media today.
Jeanette, you know how during our date, we couldn't remember the name of that show we both liked. We're Cox customers. We can find it on Contour. Last 9 viewed. My grandkids are here. Home improvement shows. More like this. We liked House Hunters. That's the name of it.
Grandpa, you have a girlfriend?
We're not using labels.
That's a yes.
Watch more, search less, because you're a Cox customer. Cox.com/learn.
Buy brand new movies instantly with the new Contour from Cox.
Billie Jean King, the most successful female player of all time.
$100,000 to any woman who can beat Bobby Riggs.
Tom, it's on.
I'm cooking. I'm cooking.
Let's play.
Battle of the Sexes. Purchase movies and TV shows right from your remote. Download them to go and watch anywhere, anytime on your mobile devices. Start building your digital video library now.
Join Jane Manzuras on Creative Living as she shares fun and inspiring ideas for enriching your life.
I'm Jane Manzuras, and on the next Creative Living, we're all about giving. We'll show you a group of crafters who are sharing their skills to help people in need. And I'll show you how to turn your old clothes into something trendy.
Watch Creative Living only on YourView. Check your local listings for airtimes or visit yourview.com.
Melvin's Tire Pros proudly supports Friar Athletics. Stop in for service and tires with great deals on Continental and General. John and Coach Cooley back here as we wrap up the Ed Cooley Radio Show, again presented by East Commerce Solutions. Thanks to McPhail's for letting us in the door tonight, huh? Food was here, too, so everybody had a chance to enjoy that. Coach, you're back on the floor, on the road. You continue this road trip with your 3 straight on the road. Next Wednesday night, another 6 days away. You're playing at Seton Hall, and Seton Hall Pirates undoubtedly have your undivided attention because Seton Hall is one of those teams that was picked a little ahead of you in the league. But that's a team, though, that you're going to have to try to get some kind of head-to-head advantage over because they're going to be fighting for a spot in the NCAA just like you will be.
Yeah, we talked to the team about that today when you start looking at our league. We've played some great games with them. They're really well coached by Coach Willard. They have 3 outstanding seniors in Delgado, Rodriguez, and Carrington. We're going to have to be on our A game, and we have to go down there and limit our mistakes and learn from our last road game against Villanova in order to come out of there with a win.
Angel Delgado is a pro. I thought he was a pro last year, averaging a double-double. He's 18, 19 points a game, 12, 13 rebounds. He was the nation's leading rebounder a year ago. That's a guy that you just, what do you do with him in the post?
It seems like he's been around since Marvin Barnes was here. It seems like he's been here forever.
Long time.
We got to be diligent, attention to detail. If his catches are, you got to make sure he doesn't get deep post touches. We got to have him contested at the rim, and then we got to do everything we can to contain their perimeter game.
Okay. We have a question of the week brought to you by Visit Myrtle Beach. Go to visitmyrtlebeach.com to plan your vacation. Alvin Diallo had his third double-double of his career and of his season this last week when you beat Creighton, had 21 points and 10 rebounds. So what do you have to do to get him more touches if you can? Is that part of the plan at all?
Well, I think he's getting a lot of touches. We're putting him in places where, he's extremely versatile. And anytime you have the versatility of he and Isaiah Jackson, they can play anywhere up and down the lineup. So we look at different matchups as we're doing our scouting and put him in places where he's effective.
Okay. And then I know that you saw Jalen Lindsey get uncorked a little bit against Villanova and may have been a little bit too little too late. But is there a way that you can find a way to get him more touches, or is that on Jalen?
No, I think it's on both. I think it's on the team as well. One thing Jalen is blessed with, he can really extend the floor. He can really shoot the ball. People have to create shots for Jalen because he's not a creator himself. But I think he's getting better 1-2 dribbles off the bounce. But he's not going to be I can create my own shot type of player. So systematically we have to try to get him some shots. We try to get him loose in transition, and then we try to get him loose off a broken plays. And then a final basketball-related question here, Coach. How do you feel your two-headed center is coming along? And I know that you always want more rebounding out of them, but when you have young players like that who clearly have some ability, sometimes you have to nurture them a little bit. I think we've really gotten better with them over the last couple of weeks. Nate went through the flu really bad, so it cost him basically 2.5 games. He's getting back into the rhythm. He was great today in practice. I liked his energy. He actually lost like 8 or 9 pounds. Wow. Yeah, I mean, this flu is unbelievable. I don't know if these flu shots are working with this, with this type of flu that's going around. If any of you get it, please stay away from us. We love you to death.
We love you, but stay the heck
love
away.
You. We'll give you a hug from here. It is right here to
Group
you.
hug.
But no, it's it went through the whole team, and but we're getting better with those two, and they're doing a really good job. They're wonderful young men, and I think they represent us in a first-class manner.
All right, let's get on the train. Let's get down to Seton Hall.
Looking forward to it. I want to thank everybody for coming out today. You guys are awesome, and we love you. Go Friars.
Our copyrighted broadcast and exclusive presentation of Providence Friars Sports Properties, a property of Learfield under the broadcast rights granted by Providence College. Our executive producer, J.J. Alberts, and a shout-out to our coordinating producer, Katie Searle. Where is Katie? She in here? Where's Katie? She's back there. Katie's going off to some, hopefully, more lucrative things. And so, Katie, we thank you very much for all of your contributions here for the Friars Sports Properties. Thanks, Katie. Good job out of you. And for Matt Morrell and for everyone who's been a part of this one, for Coach Cooley, I'm John Rook. Next show scheduled for February 7th at Audi Warwick on Route 2 in Warwick. All right? We'll see everybody then. Go Friars.